Hey everybody, it's MC from Not Just Scrapbooks, and as you can see, I've got a tag here made with one of the Prima mixed media doll stamps, and I used my Spectrum Noir pens and did some paper piecing, and I even colored the background because it was too plain and it just didn't set off my doll the way I wanted her to be set off. And this is my fourth recording of this because I keep on saying silly things. So hopefully this time I will not only finish the video, but be able to post it. So here we go. First of all, she is made with this really big Prima stamp. And as you can notice, they're really big. Just look at the size of my hand. And if you haven't seen one of the videos where people let you know that you don't have to buy a new acrylic stamp, if you have a Cuddlebug or a Big Cake or a Vagabond with those cutting plates, you can just put your stamp on here. And then you can stamp her. I'm sorry for the glare. I just happened to have light. So there you go. That's how she started. And then I stamped her on some material and paper pieced her, and she ended up looking something like this. And so as you can tell, I've got more projects coming with the same stamp and the same paper combination. It's such a beautiful paper combination for this doll. It's, I think, Madeline from Prima from a few years back. And I went through, I have a lot of stacks of 6x6 paper. And I went through all of them, and this was the combination that really sort of popped out to me as being really pretty. So, without further ado, let us take a look at what happened here. I decided to give her black hair. I've done a few in red hair and auburn hair and dark brown hair, and I wanted to try doing her in black. So I used my cool grays to do that, and then I did use my pure black pen just at the edges and a little bit in the middle to just give the hair a little bit more of an accent. And this is one of the Recollection butterflies, and I just put gesso on it, and then I added a little bit of stickles in turquoise. And these are Prima leaves, and we'll get to what I did to this seam binding in a little bit. These are from my stash. A lot of this came from my stash, actually. These are way back when King Company, and they look like little carnations. And carnations happen to be my favorite flower. I know for a lot of people, roses are their favorite flowers or whatever. I like carnations because they last for a very long time. So these little guys came from, were again Recollection, and I've had them in my stash for a long time and never use them. And I was going to use bling, but I wanted something that came off a little bit this way, off the tag. And I believe these are Recollections as well. And these are Wild Orchid Crafts. And more Prima leaves. This is a Prima flower. And it was the perfect shade to match her little skirt here. This is from my stash from way back when. I think it's Making Memories from way back when. And what I did to it is I first gessoed it, and then I used my DG4 pen on the leaf and my BT4 Spectrum Noir pen on the words. And then I used, I believe, the coral, which is the CR1, to just go around some of the, let's see if I can get this to, yeah, right, there you go. And I did use my Spectrum Noir pen on here to show a little bit more of the depth of the skirt. Now, I also did the background, because this is what the background looked like when I started, and here's my bit of my practicing. And I did it all over. In fact, where it was blue like this, I used the green, and on some of this, I used the coral, the same CR1 and the same DG4. And then I also used a BP3 and a BP4 to create the pinks. Now, in the case of this right here, the color was not right with just one of the pinks or one of the CR1s. So what I did is I mixed these two pens together to get the color I wanted. So you can really use your pens to do different things. And that's how I got a background that is still a background, but that kind of complements her colors and whatnot. Now, for the seam binding, I will show you what I did. Because you can color seam binding with your Spectrum Noir pens. And that's my cat. He decided to go into the closet part, like the unfinished part of the basement, and he got stuck in there, and he's going to wait till I'm done. I love my kitty, but he's just going to have to wait for a little bit. Okay, so here's what you do. You take the chisel part of your Spectrum Noir pen, and this is BP3, and it's a mid-range pink, and then you just paint your ribbon. And you can do one color, or you can go from color to color. And we're going to do the dark green. Yeah. And hopefully not muddy everything, because you can do that. You have to be careful. And the hardest color to put down is this dark green. I should have gotten the gold out, but I forgot it on the other side of the room. But I'll show you one I did yesterday. And like I said, the dark green is the hardest one to put down. Maybe that it's getting a little dry because I've used it a lot. I'm in the process now of getting all the refills a little bit at a time for my pens. I started off with all the light color ones because I do color light to see if I like where I'm planning on shading, and then dark, medium, and light. So, and how about a little bit of coral? And we'll use the chisel part. And this was my CR1 pen. And by using the same colors that I used on the background and on the and once in a while you really on the background and on the girls, I'm able to match my ribbon perfectly to my project. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, I mean, I'll still use my Lindy's and whatnot. But okay, and this is BT4. It's kind of a pretty turquoise. Kitty finally figured out that I had left a door open for him. So that's why we're not hearing him go tap, tap, tap against the door anymore. He's such a funny guy. And there we go again. And of course, you'll notice right here that if you, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit, or if I'm completely zoomed in. If you mix this turquoise and this BP3, you get a pretty shade of purple. So if just one of those things that you can mix. And let's do the green again. Then, like I said, right now it's not my favorite, so I'm going to skip the green so I can use this ribbon on something else. I'm going to go with my peachy CR1 here. And then my turquoise again. And then I'll finish off with my hot pink. It's just going to be easier doing it this way. Now, one of the things about the hot pink is you'll notice that even though I had a funny line, I can blend it with the turquoise on this seam binding so that it doesn't look as smeared. Now, once it dries, and I'll show you the one that has the gold in it. Once it dries, it's kind of pretty. This one also has the purple from combining turquoise and pink. So that's what it looks like. So if you look on my tag here, you'll notice that my seam binding is different colors. Now this part here is all turquoise because that's the loop to hang it somewhere. But see, it goes from gold to green to peach to coral. And so there you go. That's my tag. And I use my Spectrum Noir pens all over the place. And I hope that you enjoyed watching this. And that you'll have a very happy crafty day. Bye-bye.